Hey everybody, Blood Moon FT back again for Guilty Gear Lore Heaven or Hell Duel 4 by Wooly Versus. In the last part, we learned that there's a whole separate alternate dimension. We got introduced to different realities and time travel based off of Eno, who is now on ice. Hopefully they bust her out soon, because I'd like to see her in action more. We got hinted towards an apocalypse that's coming. The gear maker is showing himself more. It seems like the story, there's a big event that's coming, you know, that everyone's gonna have to be ready for. So, you know, I don't have too much to talk about. I'm ready to get into this so we can see what's gonna happen next.
A world separate from our own, yet somehow controlling it.
Yep,
the backyard.
The backyard. These are different
Behind its
design.
gates are the eternal truths of good and of evil, of creation and destruction.
Good and evil is
chaos
subjective,
which
though.
mankind has never seen. In a time long past, a philosopher entered this other realm. He returned, and through shuddering breaths, he spoke. No evil should touch this place.
Okay.
This philosopher sealed all that the backyard was into a single tome.
Uh-oh.
His hope was that mankind would never stumble upon its power. With that, the path to the backyard was forever barred, and peace once again blessed.
Alright, now who's gonna open the book?
But what followed, the ancient sage could never have predicted. For evil came not from a human who discovered the book, but from inside the backyard itself.
Okay. I love the production of these. Heaven or Hell.
Heaven or Hell.
I love the production of these videos, dude. Wooly Versus did great. 2187. That's it? Just 87? So about 1 year? Interesting.
The memories of Asuka R. Cruz.
Okay, yeah.
Isotope and
Who's
isolation.
Asuka? Is that Arya?
In a time long gone, before the end of friendships and a century
The soul
of
said
war,
Asuka.
Frederick Bulsara, Arya Hale, and Asuka R. Cruz
Oh,
had a
that's his
philosophical
name.
discussion about the nature of creation,
The-
evolution, and the guiding influence
Okay,
of
that
something
man
in
is
between.
Asuka.
Arya, at the start of her workday, notes that the other two had not slept and that she was entering a discussion in its 5th hour. As a thought exercise, Asuka asks Arya if she believes all products of the natural world are accidents of low probability. Arya concurs that this is stochastically correct. Asuka hypothesizes that though we have never identified and measured the existence of a creator, something theoretical could exist that defines the outcomes
Sure.
of all natural events in minute detail.
Sure, like an RNG.
Arya thinks
Sure.
it would be reasonable enough to call this theoretical thing God. Asuka then points out that within a given evolutionary model, there sometimes exists a missing link, where species A becomes species C, but evidence of step B is missing.
Okay.
This might be caused by a number of factors as identified by the theoretical God, but he finds the idea of a third-party interference in the process to be a compelling consideration,
True.
as it is entirely possible that an outside factor could force species A to become C
Absolutely.
by rewriting DNA.
100%.
Asuka dubs this factor Apocalypse.
Okay.
Arya
Wait,
considers the theory, but deems it too wildly impractical.
Asuka said the
Asuka notes that
apocalypse is
throughout
coming.
history, considerable numbers of species with missing links have gone extinct, and that the intervention of Apocalypse could lead to ruin.
So the third party is
Everett interjects
Apocalypse?
that Asuka's statements are in fact absurd, and Arya shouldn't believe him. You should be the one that chooses your own path. No one else's hand should decide for you.
That's how it
It's
should
that
be, but it probably
Good,
isn't like
says
that.
Asuka. I feel the same way.
Oh boy.
Asuka awakens in a dark room, inside a coffin-like device overflowing with colorless liquid, with hundreds of superfine metal threads.
What is this,
connected to his
Neon
hippocampus.
Genesis Evangelion?
Raven, who is standing nearby, presses a switch, removing the lid from the device. Asuka sits up. His body's been rejuvenated once again, and he feels restored. However, the permanent memory loss associated with this process continues to be a complication of extending his life. Thus, Asuka is in the process of backing up his memories, and notes to Raven that this one in particular has elicited some nostalgia.
Interesting.
Baptisma 13 Epilogue.
Okay.
Asuka and Raven.
Yeah, what happened to Dizzy? I want to know.
After the destruction of Valentine, Asuka feels that things will not go as smoothly next time, as there's no telling when the next Valentine will appear, or if there will be tens of thousands of them. He wonders if the flame of corruption will be the one to end things. Raven remarks that the dragon install has started to encroach, and vows his protection.
Okay.
But Asuka says that won't be needed. History will write its own course, and it'll be Raven's responsibility to witness it. The time of apocalypse approaches.
Oh boy.
And Arya won't wait any longer.
So what, are they just trying to revive justice?
2187 AD. In the aftermath of Baptisma 13, the UN holds an emergency session.
Gotta get everyone up on their feet and be ready.
Proposes human coexistence with gears. The proposal is defeated and never mentioned to the public.
Dang.
But as a result, many heads of state begin to distrust Kai.
Oh no.
World powers begin to develop their own countermeasures to provide humanity with defense against the unknown. The Conclave initiates the Cyprus Project, a weapons development program for magic-based firearms.
Oh, it's
used by
Elfo.
those without magical aptitude. Furthermore, magical constructs called opus units are developed.
Okay.
Effective in traditional combat as well as magic support.
So they're like
designed
robot
to
cops
obey
that
without
use
question.
magic.
Production output for both the Cyprus and Opus
Gee, I don't see
takes
that
place in a secret
backfiring.
research lab named Frasco 2, overseen by Leon Mining, a nefarious founder of the Post-War Administration Bureau, with political ties to the Assassin's Guild.
That's a cool room.
Starting with Illyria, shipments of Opus units are soon deployed to every major city globally.
Yeah, this
as
is gonna
per the orders
backfire
of
100%.
The Sanctus Maximus Populi.
Dang, okay.
The Sanctus Populi organization is not technically a religion, as they have no doctrine and require no faith, but they're nonetheless treated with the same devotion and trust by the general population. While vast amounts of knowledge have been lost to time, after the dawn of revival, humanity never forgot those who they relied on amidst the chaos. It was only natural that the apostles that saved humanity would soon be surrounded by devout followers.
Sure.
These followers
Did they
became
see
the
them as
founding body
gods?
of the Sanctus Populi organization. Currently, though the Conclave holds decision-making power over world
Revered them
governments,
as gods,
the
probably.
Sanctus Populi's leadership position, Sanctus Maximus, holds the true final executive decision. For 8 years, from 2169 to 2177, the position of Sanctus Maximus was held by Happinus the 27th, a beloved, gentle, and fair man, but in his final days, he deteriorated both mentally and physically,
Ooh.
eventually dying of fatigue. He is succeeded by his appointed cardinal,
Ooh,
Ariels,
she's kind of cute.
a woman known for being calm and virtuous.
Ooh.
However, the Sanctus Maximus is not the only one preparing countermeasures in the wake of Baptisma 13.
Oh, Lord. Disney's got to play a massive role in this event, this
You'll
apocalypse
see
event.
here, Vast Edge XT.
Like, wherever Disney is right now, you need to be careful. This intro's a little different from all the other ones. Oh my god! That was pretty freaking loud. It got me there. They're in Japanese. Is this live action? Looks like a freaking Hasbro toy commercial. Oh, it's an anime.
パチスロと格闘ゲームの融合覚悟はできてんのか
Oh, different. Okay.
Nearly a century ago, in anticipation of justice, Sol created the outrage. Now, with the emergence of Valentine from the backyard, and Asuka insinuating that there are more to come, Sol seeks the outrage components, also known as the Sacred Treasures, to upgrade his Fire Seal sword into something capable of handling whatever else comes from the backyard.
Good.
Dr. Paradigm introduces Sol to a gunsmith dog, capable of helping construct weapons according to Sol's designs. In homage to Junkyard, the unrefined slab he used during his Holy Order days, Soul has the fire seal encased in another magic amplifier and christens it the Junkyard Dog Mark II.
Okay, Junkyard Dog.
Soul and Sin receive intel from Dr. Paradigm, detailing that the Conclave is made up of 4 sages. Arcsys, the first. Libraria, the second. Baldius, the third. And their leader, Cronus, the fourth.
Ooh, time.
They currently possess the Flashing Fang,
Okay.
an outrage component that amplifies light magic. May has additional intel, saying that they actually have more than one outrage component, and that they might be kept in a secret North European location called Hardened Fort. The Conclave appears to have also put a bounty out on Soul's head, resulting in a number
Dude,
of
I gotta
bounty
watch
hunters
this anime.
benefiting from unknown soldiers to a few familiar faces, such as Bridget.
Really? I doubt Bridget won against Soul.
Also crosses paths with Milia Rage,
Whoa.
who's seeking truth surrounding rumors that Zato's body has been stolen. Through Cronus, we learn that the Conclave have appointed themselves the only true leaders of humanity, and they're awaiting something called St. Elmo's Fire
Okay, yeah.
to become gods.
Okay, this is
possess
they're
3
reminding me
outrage
of Neon Genesis
Flashing Fang,
real hard.
Dominator, and Baikal.
Okay. How they
believe
wanted to
King
just
Kai knows
die
too
in the
much
end, to
and
return
will
to
need be put
nothingness.
down, but it's too early to do so.
Turn to the LCL
Soul,
fluid or whatever.
can't be allowed to be an obstacle to them any longer. Soul and Sin infiltrate Hardened Fort and encounter Baldius, who taunts them and attacks using forbidden magic, allowing him to fight with a power closely resembling Eddie, named
Whoa.
Cerberus. It is unknown whether or not this is made possible due to the Conclave research into Zato-1's corpse. Despite Baldius' taunting, he reveals nothing of the Conclave's intentions. Though he's able to absorb Soul's Fafnir attack, he's ultimately outmatched and melts away into a puddle to escape.
Of course.
His injuries prove to be fatal, however,
Oh,
and he dies shortly after,
good.
bolstering the resolve of the remaining sages. A teacup is placed upside down in his memory at future Conclave meetings.
I have a
Soul
feeling that
retrieves the Flashing
if they
Fang and
all
integrates
die,
it into
something
his
bad
soul,
happens.
finalizing it as Junkyard Dog Mark III.
Okay.
When activated, the outer casing opens up to reveal an integrated fire seal, alongside parts that resemble Bridget's revolving yo-yo.
Ooh.
The combined usage of 2 outrage components allows its original purpose to be fulfilled. A portable weapon capable of firing the all-powerful spell, Saint Oratorio.
Holy crap.
Guilty Gear Exurd. Sign.
Okay, so are we pretty much up to date, caught up now? I get to see the stuff.
私はラムレザル・バレンタイン。
I think I remember this.
これより全世界に宣戦布告。
Yeah, now this is making sense. Wow. So she's the next Valentine.
あなた方出来損ないの人形どもは全て根絶やしにする。
She's hot.
未来を悲観しろ。
Woo! Yes, sir. Now I'm up to date. Everything, I understand everything. Let's go. Let's get it. This is gonna be fun. Yep, sir. Zato-1. Ah, so he was playable. I knew I recognized him. I don't think I've ever played Venom. Potemkin! Faust. Oh, May's adorable. Hey, Ito, baby. Okay, so this guy, Bedvan, what does he have? Like, what's up with him? Ah, guys, I'm so glad that Epic 7 did that collab with Guilty Gear. I would have never have discovered this. Buckle up, it's time to rock.
October 21st, 2187 AD. A being called Ramlethal
Ramlethal.
announces her existence to the world publicly, broadcasting a declaration of war on humanity. October 23rd. The Conclave meets in a location known as the Tea Room to discuss their secret negotiations with Ramlethal and their intentions to rewrite the history of mankind.
Oh, heck no.
They assess all particular persons of interest who might interfere with their plans.
Uh-oh.
Eno reflects that though she's gone through the integration point and killed Ramlethal many times in many timelines, it does not change the outcome of a dull, gray world. Babylon, 5 years in the future.
Wait, she killed her, though.
Nowhere in sight. However, bringing that man into this time cycle has finally caused
so it's going to
change
change
as
everything.
she realizes that Soul has become much stronger than usual and that she's unable to kill Ramlethal. She's ecstatic at the prospect of no longer being obsessed with this world's outcome. Suddenly, a time slip trap that she set goes off, bringing Axel Lowe to 2192 AD.
Interesting.
Axel Lowe time slips to 2192 AD, to the city of Babylon, 5 years in the future. A voice reaches out to Axel, and a man calling himself the Original asks him to deliver a message to that man. Axel then time slips directly into a dream world in which he's almost killed by an immensely powerful enigma called Bedman.
What the heck?
But he's pulled out at the last second by a time slip trap set by Eno. Shocked that Axel knows about the existence of the Original, she agrees to let him deliver his message, ignoring his request
but
to instead be
why
sent back
is
to his
Eno
home in
not...
Cotswolds, England, 1998.
She was on ice. Who released her?
Potemkin is assigned to investigate
Potemkin!
on behalf of Zep. However, due to Bedman's interference, he spends 3 days trapped inside the nightmare theater of Bedman's slumber, delaying Zep from acting without intel until it's too late. Bedman reveals himself to be a clandestine operator and an agent serving an unknown client. Possessing an acute intellect and expansive vocabulary, he excels at identifying weaknesses and exposing them. He appears to always be silent and asleep, carried by his magically weaponized...
So he's only awake in the dream.
Silence is only apparent to those in the waking world, however. In the nightmare theater of his permanent slumber, he is a braggadocious, condescending, and long-winded individual.
So he's a jerk. Who's this? Some near automata. He looks like a... Oh my god. Yo, things are moving fast. Okay, new mystery. Who's the client? Dang. So it's not Ramlethal, and it's not that man. Jesus, does he breathe? Even Soul's just freaking annoyed. Oh my god. Sir? Nah, I like him, dude. He's funny. I detest long conversations. What a hypocrite.
He appears to be intimately aware of the nature of the world, and with this knowledge, frighteningly powerful, especially to those trapped in his nightmare.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's from the backyard.
Can wake him up. Chips Enough sets out to establish his kingdom on the world stage by defeating this new global threat. On the way to confronting Ramlethal, he runs into May and decides to escort her.
Bushido.
In the ruins of Japan, Ramlethal refers to May as Japanese girl, a word which May doesn't understand. Ramlethal says that it means she's still somewhat useful, but it's also something that the rest of humanity considers a disease. Milia Rage secretly meets Venom, who informs her that Zato-1 has been resurrected by the Conclave.
Of course.
Venom has been assigned to guard Zato's location, however, so they agree to meet again on the battlefield as enemies with the same goal. In a secret lab known as the Conclave's Opera House,
Whoa.
Zato-1 floats in a dimensional prison with Forbidden Beast Eddie, trying to recall his existence. He chooses to stay contained. The Conclave's stolen resurrection experiment has worked, resulting in Zato being the first human to have his soul returned to his body.
What the
However,
heck?
his mind and personality have been wiped clean, with only trace words and concepts remaining.
Okay, that could help.
While Zato's return to life has zero significance
You
to
gonna
the
drink your
Conclave
tea, buddy?
specific, the circumstances of him being host to a bonded life form are the true reason why he was used as a test subject. Suddenly remembering the name Milia and sensing her nearby, he exits the prison.
Is he gonna see her as like a
He's reunited
sister?
with her, Venom, and later on, Slayer.
Dandyism. Dandyism.
While Zato no longer has his former personality or complete memories, his desire to protect Milia remains strong.
Ooh.
Faust receives an invitation to Slayer's manor, Villa Vampire. Slayer tips him off that the death of his young patient was staged malpractice orchestrated by the Conclave and executed by Zato-1, who somehow lives. Faust then confronts the recently freed
I don't know
Zato
if you'll
at the
win
Opera
that,
House.
Faust.
Zato's behavior is surprisingly earnest. He tells Faust to kill him if he wishes, as he has every right to,
Oh.
but he asks for a bit of time first.
Dog, he's so tall.
He then explains that Faust's research led him to the ultimate procedure, resurrection. Not only was this
Oh.
discovery integral to the Conclave's
So
ultimate
that's
goals,
why they had her
they also
killed?
couldn't allow its existence to be known by anyone.
Ah.
Thus, a conspiracy was hatched against Dr. Baldhead, and that soon they intend to use this power. King Kai Kisk of Illyria gathers intel on Ramlethal and puts a plan into action. He's suspicious of the timing of her appearance alongside the recently activated Opus units as well, and concludes that the government can no longer be trusted.
I knew it.
Kai
Those
prepares
freaking
300,000
robots.
world
Those
dollars
robot
to
cops are gonna
contact
start
Soul
killing
Badback
everyone.
to hire his services. Soul demands 1 million.
Dang. Cash.
Together, alongside Sin Kisk, they journey to the ruins of Japan to confront Ramlethal.
Yo, Sin looks like a cooler version of Kai. I'm sorry, it looks way cooler. Babylon. God, that art is so cool. Uh-oh. Ramlethal. Shoot, I might want to play her, dude. She's kind of hot. Mmm. 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 Holy crap. I mean, listen, I wouldn't want to be hit by those weapons. Yeah, I would not want to be hit by those. Miss? So, does she also have the same type of memories as Arya? Oh my god, thick. Heaven or hell. Dang. Holy crap. Woo! Hey! I tell you, the animations for Guilty Gear are something special.
October 28th, 2187 AD. Ramlethal is defeated in the ruins of Japan,
Okay.
but Soul catches on to the fact that they've been baited. Who declares war on the world and then sits waiting in the middle of nowhere?
True.
Ramlethal concedes that the
Yeah, it's
outcome of
literally
this
like she
battle was
declared
irrelevant.
war and didn't do
She was
anything.
only a distraction.
Oh no. Oh crap. You better get running, bro. Get running. Get running. They're on their Evangelion right now, bro. Oh, heck no. God, no. Is that a sun? No, it's too late.
Suddenly, a tremendous floating fortress known as the Cradle appears above the city of Babylon for a brief moment, then disappears, emitting a massive information shockwave. All living beings in the city are atomized in the process.
Jeez. That's it? And then it just
A
disappeared?
monumental black sigil appears in the sky, identical to the one seen above the ruins of Japan.
Holy
and
crap.
the one seen when Dragon Install's soul activates the true power of the fire seal.
Oh?
Contact has been made with the backyard.
Oh no.
Kai, Soul, and Sin observe in horror as countless innocents are killed. Kai exclaims that everything is happening just like she said. Could she have been telling the truth? Soul asks him what the hell he knows, but before they can react, Ramlethal grabs Soul and flies upwards, beginning a self-destruct sequence. I think it's time we died. Let's go together.
No, Ramlethal. I don't want Ramlethal to die. And Soul too, of course. That's it? Oh my god. Alright, so it seems like this is, like it feels like a 1 out of 2 parter. Like these last two, 4 and 5, feel like, they're a 2-part thing. Because, obviously that declaration of war was it was bait. Because it felt kind of weak. I was like, you're declaring war. Why don't you pull like a Pain and, like blow up the entire, city or something crazy? But she just declared it and waited, apparently. But, interesting. Very interesting. I still am wondering how Ino got off the ice. Because she was literally frozen. Unless that man was just like, all right, your timeout's over and released her. I'm also glad that we learned that man's name, Asuka. And then, let's see. I'm wondering how Ramlethal came to be. She's very cute. Yeah, other than that, I'm sure Ino is going to play a massive role in how this ends. Because she's literally like the time traveler, right? She's got to be one of, if not the most important characters. So, yeah. I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to predict and, hypothesize about. This has been really awesome so far. I've been enjoying this story. And the fact that it's not even done yet. The fact that even when I finish this next final video, I still get to play Strive and I get to experience the end firsthand. I think that is so awesome, and I'm so glad I decided to watch these, especially now. But yeah, thanks to everybody who's watching. See you in the next video.